I got a new shirt. It says, "The Shire is burning, so Mordor it is." Major cool points to anyone who knows what that's from. It is not Lord of the Rings. Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today we are going to do the next round of my book haul kind of revisit, picking a book that I was so excited about. Whichever one in that video is the one that I have not read yet that I was the most excited about. I'm going to pick that book and I'm going to read it next. And I just recently finished the last one. So the last one was Elusive by Emily Lloyd-Jones. And you guys, I loved this. I ended up listening to it on audio and it was fantastic. I read it really quickly. I feel like I read the last half of the book just in one sitting. I did not want to put it down. This is a young adult sci-fi book, and it follows these teenagers who have superpowers, and you find out why they have superpowers. And let me tell you, the relatability to how and why they have superpowers is insane. So I'm glad that I read it now after the pandemic. I'm just going to say that. That's all I'm going to say. This does follow the aftermath of a pandemic and how these people got superpowers. Now, the people that we're following in this book are using their powers not for good. They're criminals, and they're using their powers to their advantage. So we are following them and what's going on and things that they're finding out. And I just thought it was great. I thought it was great. So I really, really enjoyed this. I ended up giving it 4 stars. It wasn't like a new favorite by any means, but I have really enjoyed the books that I've read from this author, and I'm going to keep reading more. And I have already ordered the second book. It's a duology, plus there's a novella in there as well. So I'm already going to read the rest of them. But yeah, so really enjoyed this one. So the funny thing about this is that I had filmed this and watched the next video that was supposed to be happening. And it was a June, July. So it was June and July together. But I didn't have any books in that one to read because I had either already read them or I'd already unhauled them, like every single one. So I did not have anything to read in that video. So we're just going to go on to the next one, which is actually a July haul. It says July haul. Yes, I bought more books. So apparently I kept going in July, and that's fine. So we're going to watch that one and see if we have some, hopefully, because I don't want to film this again. That's a lot.
Oh my gosh, can I do this?
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, Sarah, what are you doing?
Can I get them all?
Okay. All right.
Oh, barely. Oh, God.
This is after our move. So the ones that I had been watching before, we were in Florida where I had the blue painted walls in my office. So that one was when we were in Florida. And now this one, we're in Rhode Island. I can tell by the setup. So this was after we had moved and made that big move. So here we go.
Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I have a book haul. Didn't I post a June and July book haul? I think I did.
You did.
This is the real July book haul. I wasn't expecting to acquire any books in the month of July because we were moving. But I still managed to get 14 books. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, I got to talk about these because they're coming into my house. So I have some publisher sent. I have some gifts. I subscribed to Book of the Month Club, finally.
Oh man, that's right.
And then I did buy some books myself. I got 3 on Amazon and 1 at Barnes & Noble. So, yeah. It's fine. Okay, so let's start with the books that the publisher sent me. I did manage to get 4. The first one was actually sitting at my house here in Rhode Island when we arrived. So it was already, it was sent ahead of time. So that was kind of nice. This is The Princess Will Save You by Sarah Henning. Now this... I have unhauled that series. The publisher sent me that entire trilogy, which I was very grateful for. But I did unhaul it. I decided I was not interested in reading that one. So that has not stayed at my house. One that I have, I actually talked about in my August TBR because I do plan to read it that month, is The Lost Jewels by Christy Manning.
Yay! I actually did read that one. I really liked it a lot, and I think I sent that one to Krista. But yeah, that was good. So I did read that one.
Next one I'm really excited about. This one comes out in September, and this is A Most English Princess. This is by Claire McHugh, and
okay. I don't have that one either. That one did not make it when we moved from Rhode Island to Virginia. That one got on hold because I didn't read it. Decided I wasn't interested, so got rid of that one.
And this one, you guys.
Oh, I look very happy.
Anna Holidays by Christina Lauren.
Okay. I was very, very excited about that one, but I did read it. I loved it. I 5-starred it, but I read it. Okay, we're not doing so good here, Sarah. Come on.
Okay, so the next 3 are books that were gifted to me. So these 2 I got from my sister. Now, my sister is a member of Book of the Month, and so she has been this summer kind of going a little bit on a reading kick. She's a teacher. She teaches middle school math. So
she's a saint.
Yeah, the last part of the year last year was really hard. Working from home, but she was working really hard, you guys. Like, teachers, even if they're having to do it from home, it's a lot of work. So when summer hit, she was like, I'm going to read some books because I haven't been able to do that. So she did read quite a few of her Book of the Month books, and she gave me a couple that she knew I wanted to read. So the first one is The Wives by Taryn Fisher. Really want to read this one. I haven't heard the best things. I don't really care. I really like Taryn Fisher, and so I'm going to go into this with a little bit lower expectations, but my sister really liked it, and her and I tend to have, very similar taste. Okay. So
I do still have that book to read. I do not sound excited, and if I'm planning to go into it with lower expectations, that's not an excited book. So I don't think that's going to be the one that I read this time, but I do still have it, and I did read a Taryn Fisher earlier this year and really enjoyed it, and I do want to read her books. So it's probably not going to happen right now, but I do still have that one.
And then she also gave me The Knockout Queen by Rufi Thorpe.
Okay. My sister did really enjoy that one, but I did not keep that one. That one is one that I have on hold since.
And I got the sweetest surprise. This is The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. This was on my wish list, and one of my subscribers, Jenna, saw it on there, and she sent it to me. And
okay, Jenna. Oh, that book. Obviously, I've read it. I don't shut up about it because that has made it into one of my all-time favorite books. I love that book so much. So obviously I've read it.
Then I decided to join Book of the Month. Finally, I have been thinking about this for quite a while, and I finally just decided to take the plunge that I was going to go ahead and join. And I thought, we're here in Rhode Island. We're here for a year. Maybe I should just take this year and subscribe and see how it goes. And if after a year, if I either haven't read very many of them or I'm not impressed or whatever, then maybe I can stop it. So I'm giving this kind of like a trial almost.
Okay. Okay. Trial my butt, Sarah. No. I didn't read a ton of them, and I still kept it going. I'm still a member of Book of the Month. I still get their books. Now, lately, I have been skipping a little bit more often, so I'm paying a little bit more close attention right now because we're in April. No, we're in May now, Sarah. We're in May. I have skipped 3 months already this year. So that's not super encouraging for me. Two of them were just I wasn't interested in the books, and then one of them was I would have chosen 2 of those books, but I already had them because they came out on Book of the Month a month after they were already published, and I was like, really? So I took a little bit of issue with that because it was this month, actually, it was May. I would have gotten Yours Truly, and I would have gotten The Last Word, but I have both of those already. And I've already read one of them. And the other one I would like to read this month. So, I don't want to get them because I already have them. I'm not going to pay for them twice. That's ridiculous. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a whole nother video. But yeah, I did subscribe to Book of the Month. I was planning to use it as a trial, and obviously it was successful, even though I 100% just collected them and I just kept going. So yeah, but let me tell you, I've been very excited about everything so far. So July was my first month, and I grabbed 3 books. I was able to grab 3 because I think it was because it was my first box. So I got a little bit of a discount, but I know that for the month of August, I could pick my credit one and then another one, but I don't know if I could pick another 2 or not. I don't know how many add-ons I'm allowed to pick now, but I know for the first one I was allowed to pick 2. So first one I got was Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. And this, okay, I read that one, didn't love it, but I did read it. And then the one that I picked for like my book is The Shadows by Alex North. I really want to read Alex North. I haven't read anything by him yet, but I have this one, and I do have a copy of The Whisper Man. So definitely want to read him and give him a try and see what I think, but this is like a thriller. Okay. I still have that one I have not read yet, but I did read The Whisper Man, and I did enjoy it. It was a 4-star read. It's not one that I decided to keep for the long haul, but I did enjoy it when I read it. So I would like to read that one as well, but I don't sound super excited, so we'll see. And then I got an add-on, and this was one from, what month? I think it was from June. Yeah, June. And that is One to Watch. And this is by Katie Stamen London. Okay, I read that one, loved it. I thought it was great when I read it. Again, didn't keep it for the long haul. I ended up selling it, but I did really enjoy that when I read it. So, read. So far we have The Wives and The Shadows that I haven't read. But neither of them I'm like expressing super excitement, so we'll see. And then I did grab some books from Amazon. So we had to put in an order for something for my daughter when we got here for her room. And this book was on my wish list, and I was just kind of randomly going through my wish list, you know, just taking a little look-see. I usually go through at least once a week and check prices and see if anything like goes on deep discount. This one went down. I think it was only $7.99, which is pretty good. And it's a book that I've been hearing so much about and definitely wanted to read. So I went ahead and grabbed it, and that's Lovely River by Julie Berry. Okay. Oh, that book. I read that. Love that book. Like, capital Love. Love that book. That book is so underrated. I cannot believe more people are not reading that book. That book is fantastic. Okay, but I did read it. This one did not go on a deep discount. I just wanted it. So I got it. Rage of Dragons by Evan Winter. I've heard really good things about this going around. This is a high fantasy book. Don't say excited. Inspired by, not in the mood for it right now. Africa, I think. I'm pretty positive. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's like African folklore, but a lot of people have been reading this and really enjoying it. So this is the first book. I think the second book is coming out soon, actually. But I went ahead and grabbed a copy because I really did want to read it. This one's it's a beast as well. So this would probably be something that might take me a little bit to get through, but I'm excited about it and to see what this is all about. And the cover, you guys, is gorgeous. Dang it, I said it. I was hoping I wouldn't say it. But I said the word. Ooh, I didn't say the word about the other 2. I'm just not in a fantasy mood right now. I mean, if worst comes to worst, it's fine. If this ends up being my pick, I would need to read a few things first and then get into that one. So it would definitely take me some time, and I would have to wait until I'm in a fantasy mood for that. But oh man, but gorgeous cover, like 100%. All right, we still have a little bit to go. So let's see if I have anything else. Oh my gosh. Next one from Amazon is definitely one that did come from kind of browsing around and seeing what the prices were, and this went down to $7.99, I think, and that's like insane for this book. Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. What am I doing? Okay. Yeah, I got book 1 of the Stormlight Archive. I'm nowhere near ready to read this. Still not. I actually can't read that right now because I have a reading order that I'm doing Sanderson in, and I'm like just starting. So I actually can't read that one. All right.
Okay, last one that I purchased. I got this at Barnes & Noble. We have one here that's across the bridge from us. And we decided to go in one day because we were over in that shopping center anyway. Like, let's just go into Barnes & Noble. So we did. And I actually went in, I wanted to get this book. Now, I saw this book on Jessie May's channel. I'll leave her link down below. I kind of just discovered her and I really have been enjoying her videos. But she showed this, and she actually read this recently and loved it. And it's a book that has been on my radar anyway because it is from the Great American Reads list. So it's definitely something I want to get to at some point in my life because I do have a goal to read all of those books.
I'd have to
but this edition,
oh, you guys, I know what it is
so beautiful. So I was like, you know what? If I'm going to get it anyway, I might as well get a really pretty edition. It'd probably be one that I keep in my library forever. And that is Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. So this includes Jurassic Park and The Lost World, so the first 2 books. So this is the Barnes & Noble edition, I guess. I don't remember exactly what, is it a classics edition? Something like that. But you guys, it's a hardcover. Oh, it is so beautiful. No dust jacket.
It is really beautiful.
It is gorgeous. I love the white and the black and the red. It is just stunning. It's got silvered pages. There's a bookmark in it, like a ribbon bookmark. It is so beautiful. So I did not mind getting this and paying for it. There's a map. Lindsay, that's for you. Yep, there's a map in there. And just, it's so pretty. Like, I don't know. I could just sit here and just, yes, all day long. I love it, love it. Yeah, I've never read Jurassic Park, but I love the movies, like all of them. I love all the movies. My husband has read Jurassic Park. He read it in high school. What? He doesn't read. He doesn't read, you guys. Like, he doesn't enjoy reading for pleasure. So the fact that he's read something that I haven't bothered me, so I can't have that. But yeah, so I was very happy. They had one copy at the Barnes & Noble here, so I went ahead and grabbed it while I could. And yeah, so at some point I will definitely read this, but it will probably be one that I keep in my library for the rest of my life, for sure, especially with this edition of it. So I'm excited to read it at some point. Okay, those are all the books that I accidentally hauled in July.
Okay. Okay. All right. What do I do? It's either Rage of Dragons or Jurassic Park. Those are the only 2 that I even said the word excited. I don't want to read either one of them right now. Oh, that's the danger. Okay. I think I'm going to pick... Hey, let me go downstairs, and they're both sitting on the same shelf downstairs. Let me go downstairs and look at them, and let me just go look at them first. I picked Rage of Dragons. I wasn't super excited to pick either one of them up right now. That's the whole thing. So I'm going to do this one, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to put it on my cart downstairs, which has become kind of my TBR cart. And when I'm in the mood to pick this up, I will pick this up. So it might be a little bit. And when I do pick it up, again, this is over 500 pages. So it could just take me a little while, which is fine. One of the reasons is I know that Jurassic Park is not going to go anywhere because that is a special thing. And that's one that I probably plan. I think I'm going to love it. I mean, I think I'm going to love this too. I just have to be in the mood for it. But I know that that one's not going to go anywhere, right? This one, I would be good for me to read because then I would know if I want to continue the series because book number 2 is out. So like, then I would know if I want to keep going. You know what I mean? It would give me an indication. So to read this one and see what I think. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. You guys. Man. All right. So that was a hard one. This is one that I had the hardest time choosing which one because I'm not super psyched about any of them in the present moment, but that's okay. It's all right. So this is happening. I'm going to put it on my cart downstairs, like I said, and when I am ready to pick up, like get lost in a big chunky fantasy, it'll be this one. And we'll see how it goes. I've heard mixed things. Some people love it, some people don't. We'll see how I feel. But I wanted to read it enough to buy it, so there's that. Okay, guys, that's all for me. Let me know down below if you have read this book. Let me know if you think I'm going to like it. That would be very interesting to hear your thoughts on that. And I'll try not to wait too long to get started on this at least. And yeah, because I kind of liked having that quicker turnaround this time. That was nice. But all right, let me know your thoughts and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.